Hello and welcome back to another netcast. I'm Rich Lopez, Quantrix Authority. I sincerely appreciate you joining me today. I hope you're loving Quantrix Modeler as much as I do. Today I want to talk about the beauty of Quantrix and how Quantrix is not two-dimensional. So therefore in episode 16, that's what we'll discuss. Quantrix is not two-dimensional. What I mean by that is let's demonstrate how we would treat it two-dimensional and why we wouldn't want to treat it two-dimensional. I have here a matrix that has sales in it, and I have year going across the top, and I'm more or less summarizing sales by year. And anything up through 2016 I'm calling actual, and then anything from 2017 through 2024 I actually have grouped as forecast, and these are groupings here. Well, that's fine and dandy, except for when I move into a new year, what I would have to do in order to say we were going into 2017, I would have to ungroup this, I would have to ungroup this, and then I would have to regroup these and call this one actual and call this forecast here with another grouping, and I would have to do that every year. So I don't think that that's very sustainable or scalable, if you will. As well as another drawback to having a matrix maybe set up this way is, say I want to do a variance to my actual versus forecast. So say I wanted to have variance in here. I could do that, but I think that would be very painful. That would require me to write some very specific formulae, much like I would maybe write in that lesser program known as Excel. So that building a model or matrix like this, I don't feel really optimizes the power of Quantrix Modeler. So what I would do is I would actually go ahead and add a couple more categories to my matrix. I would have years going across the top, and this would be a timeline, and then I would have actual versus forecast for my type, and then I could have sales for my metric. And then what I'm able to do is more or less use the same formulas and go out and summarize actual versus forecast for sales. And as time goes on, it will populate automatically. So if I were to add, say, 2016 sales here for actuals, it would populate automatically and I would see that. And what I can do is if I wanted to create a variance, I could go ahead and say variance here. And variance is equal to, actual less forecast. Something like that. If I wanted to create a view where I really only showed, say, the actuals versus the forecast, what I could do is I could then, and again I have to move my screen just a little bit, I could then go up here, I could create a view on this, and I could hide some of these. And I could say, let me bring over, let me just reposition a few things. Let me take my type up here, and I'm sorry, I'm losing some of my screen. Let me reposition it there. And I would say, okay, as I pivot my type here, what I want to do is for actuals, I want to hide these. Okay, so I would collapse this. And for forecast, I really want to hide these guys. Collapse. Okay, and then for variance, maybe I just want to hide variance totally here. And then that way I could see kind of a complete view of actuals versus forecast. And it would allow for it to be scalable much more so than if I were to treat it in a two-dimensional fashion as I set up here. So that is a great example of the beauty of adding multiple dimensions to a matrix within Quantrix Modeler. If you have any questions about Quantrix Modeler, feel free to email me at quantrixauthority@gmail.com. I absolutely love Quantrix and would be more than happy to help you with some of your matrix or your model setup and design. You can follow me at YouTube, and of course you can follow me at Twitter. I hope you'll join me again for another podcast from Rich Lopez, Quantrix Authority. Have a great day and enjoy Quantrix.